fluid approach to choosing media and representation herself. So if we were to apply, for example, McLuhan's "the medium is the message" to her art, then what would her statement or underlying statement be in each specific instance of the choice of medium, for example? Like, just like in Chevalier de Leon, is the choice between Polaroid color and black and white prints, and other than that, the obvious video. These are all different representations of fluidity, but in the case of photographs, they're instantaneous. So you can't really call it transitional in the way that video can be. It gives me so many ideas. I really don't know what to do. Maybe you can continue further the study in future research as well. I don't know what the plans are. Is this part of a doctoral thesis or something?
It's part of a master's thesis. We're developing also maybe another research on media altar. So we're not sure yet, but currently it's part of a master's thesis.
Nice. It's very nice to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And next up, we have the role of motivations in purchase of digital art graduate student by Berna Balcı from Aşçı University.
Hello, good afternoon to all participants and keynote speakers. Hi. And Professor Aşçı is with me.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we will be just presenting our research study together with Berna Balcı because we just, worked on it together. So I'll just start to take a few minutes to just, keep you going to the field, whatever we just analyzed until today. I think the presentation will be just seen by you in a few seconds as well.
Yep, it's on screen.
Yes, it's okay. So as you see on the screen, our study focuses on NFTs known as non-fungible tokens, which have the opportunity to just revolutionize the way how people just buy and sell some digital collectibles. And as we all know, and we would like to remind you all, they can be just defined as a unique digital identifier that cannot be copied, substituted, subdivided, and that is recorded in a blockchain and that is used to certify authenticity and ownership. So within maybe we can just, change the page to just, yes. Within this presentation, we will just, mention about our aims and purposes. Then I will just let you know about a brief summary of the literature and theoretical background of our study. Then the study and methodology will be just, presented by Berna Balcı with the findings. And then we will be just trying to conclude whatever we have come up with until today. Within the scope of this research, we just try to understand and determine the factors about why individuals are really influenced to purchase these kind of artworks and why they, what their motivations are, how they are boosted to produce and consume such digital content. And we aim to get fellow how the motifs we gather from the literature of traditional artwork and try to reveal some initial phase of NFT experience in Turkey based on the motivations, process of production, ideas of the artists or purchasers, and the experiences of practitioners. In order to be able to find such results, we asked two basic research questions based on the factors affecting the benefits and reasons for NFT ownership and the content of perceived roles of NFT in the daily lives of individuals impacting their consumer motivations. By just thinking about these questions, just the other page could be just seen by you. These non-fungible tokens or NFTs are just the digital tokens that can represent anything art production that are recorded on a blockchain, as we can see it from the literature as well. Because blockchain technology provides the means to create, sell, authenticate, and exchange NFTs. And the belief is that the uniqueness, originality, and proof of the ownership via the blockchain makes the NFT rare and allows anyone or even the owner to later sell the item for more money, similar to a piece of fine art. So the unique characteristics of ownership, scarcity, and trust in the blockchain technology, ensuring the authenticity of the ownership, of the digital collectibles, allows both sellers and purchasers to place some value on NFTs. Since the beginning of the internet, we all know that the notion of scarcity was considered as non-existent, since data on the internet can be freely and easily copied, destroying the notion of ownership. However, NFTs are a formalization of the digital ownership rights that, which distinguishes the digital assets market from the traditional connection between the internet and the digital goods. So by this sense, we just focus on the utilitarian and hedonic nature of a system, which can be identified by looking at the factors that we employ to encourage the use. And from a utilitarian view, NFT platforms could be just thought as something designed to provide an efficient, easy-to-use marketplace via blockchain technology that can provide some ownership, scarcity, privacy, and financial impact benefits as well. And from the point of view based on hedonic reasons, NFT participation, just satisfies a user's social interaction needs through the NFT online communities, because there are lots of communities that we have also come up with the research process in this study. By thinking about these factors, we can just define lots of variables even without focusing on the field itself, like you have been just seeing it on the screen right now. Social interaction, competition, enjoyment, escapism, ease of use, financial impact, ownership, scarcity, and privacy. And for that reason that we can just focus on lots of factors, we looked at the practitioners' experiences in Turkey to be able to understand their motivation to be prosumer, like we define producer and consumer as in one part in media literature, and practitioner of this field. So when we just come to the other page of the presentation, I just would like to let you know that we have got a questionnaire and a list of factor-based survey from the article titled Motives for Purchasing Artwork, Collectibles and Antiques by 2 different professors in the States in 2011. And then we just, focused on a kind of content analysis by using the motifs used as the subject of a kind of mixed analysis. But from now on, I will just give the stage to Berna Balcı to make her also present the study part or the research part of our study.
Okay. So it will be a good start to explain the values maybe, which already takes place in the presentation, but I would like to at least read it to make it more understandable. Economic values consist of appreciation, value appreciation, diversification capacity, expected price fairness, value preservation, mostly concentrated on the money part of it. And the normative values is social acceptability, group identification, self-identity, which kind of explains how we feel ourselves when we buy NFT. And as the third place, hedonic motives consist of aesthetics, pleasure, attractiveness, immersion, and holding. Intellectual motives as arousing curiosity, historical value, cultural value, which again consists of intellectual, informative, attractive elements of it. And as the fifth category, other motives takes place, which is good cause, like helping the artist, spending your money for a good cause, and a harmony, feeling like harmonic in your own daily life. But basically, we have a strict question like why people buy NFT. In a much more proper way, we can say that what are the factors affecting the benefits and the reasons for NFT ownership? How do these perceived roles of NFT in daily lives of individuals impact their consumer motivation? So, to find answers to these questions, we have two different research methodologies in our minds. One of them is going to these people, NFT buyers, and ask them with a survey, with a scale we developed from the article Professor Aşçı mentioned about, which is published in 2011. But these scales are developed for classic artworks and collectibles and antiques. We adjust this scale and try to ask these NFT buyers. As results, also process told us a lot in this newly developing sector in Turkey, because it's a very conservative community to reach. We also able to reach them, but have some insights with direct messages. So the second part of our research consisting of taking some videos, which is all of lots of NFT buyers share their strategies and buying tips and everything's out there on the internet. So we had get some sampling videos and apply this scale as a coding form as the coders of like to Professor Aşçı and I. After this filling this coding form, we want to apply a factor analysis to these opinions. We have 5 different, we already mentioned before, but it consists of value appreciation, like I read, but you can see how many items over there in it. After applying factor analysis, we come to conclusion that economic motives is drastically diversifying from the other motives. So, considering that we have a limited amount of sampling, we focused on the economic motives. So, yeah, content. Okay, I'm just considering the time. I'm just passed through that phase. We come to conclusion that these 9 items are the most considered things by all NFT buyers in Turkey. One of them is I expect to sell an NFT for a higher price than I bought it. The reason I might buy an NFT is to make money. The good thing about buying NFT is that its price increases over time. Buying NFT is a financial investment. I never compare NFTs to investment opportunities. It is usual to buy expensive NFTs, but it is a mistake to buy unreasonably priced NFTs. After we applied the analysis, we come to a conclusion that trying to get a cash income and an instant income is the first motive almost all NFT buyers. And the second one, when we check the factor loadings, is again related with money, not aesthetics or being a collectioner, is again related with investment motivation. And it consists of 3 items, including 3 items. One of them is buying NFTs, a good alternative to investing in bonds and stocks. The other one is NFTs, stock options, etc. I try to diversify my investment by considering these tools. And the third one is I may consider purchasing NFT to reduce my overall investment risk. After this analysis, these 9 motivations explain almost 70% of purchase motivations of Turkish NFT buyers. And we have some insights. These are not statistically significant results, but also when we are doing our content analysis and turning it into quantitative data, we noticed that digital art sector mostly consists male buyer encounters. Content about digital art depends on investment and money-making tips. Also, it's a little bit of dirty data. Also consists of a lot of Bitcoin and stock market information beside NFT and artwork purchase intentions. The other one is 2 videos out of 50 considers culture, aesthetic, and hedonic motivations of digital art. Rest of it is full of money tips again. And the other results, understanding, maybe we can call it insight, understanding of pleasure of art pieces mindset turns into FMCG consuming behavior. In addition, gaining money seems like as a plus. And the last one, digital art attracts cash flow, people's interest to NFT minting platforms more than any other motivations. And thank you.
Thank you very much. I know we're kind of running short on time, but I do have a few questions too. So I understand that the sample size is quite limited because we're talking about NFT investors in Turkey, basically. But I think one of the emerging trends that we can kind of hypothesize about from experience is that it's a very cultural thing, a very Turkish thing to say, how can I turn this into money? And it's one of those things that we kind of tend to do with every new technology. There's an old saying, Turkey follows the United States 10 years from behind as far as an understanding of technology goes. From what I understand, a lot of people who are in the NFT space in Turkey, they do it because they follow NFTs more than they follow the blockchain. They don't necessarily understand the fundamental workings of it, of how it works. They just see it as an investment opportunity, so they look at it more from an economic perspective than a technological perspective, which is how we end up with people who lose their Bitcoin wallets and that kind of stuff. But it's one of those funny things where NFTs are technically just a digital rights management for digital art. But what happens if you lose your copy of the license holder, basically? Would that ever even be possible? It's one of those things I want to see in the future, where like the guy who lost his wallet after ordering Domino's pizza using Bitcoin. Maybe someday, there's going to be a piece of art that's worth millions in NFT currency, basically in blockchain currency, but the poor guy or girl just doesn't have the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please be my guest.
Okay, I totally agree with you, and there are lots of questions that we can ask about NFT world in Turkey especially. So that's why we were just expecting the exploratory part of it to be able to identify what kind of factors driving the NFT consumers' motivation. However, one more thing to be able to add, maybe just with the help of your comments, there were some activities and contents provided by the NFTs are often engaging and cognitively playful, which may just provide some competition and escapism opportunities that fit within the hedonic framework as well. Not only the technological part, but the hedonic side could be more emerging nearly or soon in Turkey, with the help of youngsters or the young generation who are really fond of or engaged with the NFT world. This could be just a kind of insight. I mean, we did not question about it, but throughout the productions as videos about NFT, I also recognize such factors could be just identified to provide a kind of efficient, information about easy to use marketplace via the blockchain technology. That's why they are most probably away from the basic technologies to just get that opportunity. However, they are just focusing on the one point for all part of it. So winner takes it all when they just think about their own situation to just buy it and sell it more. But this is just the current pattern that we have been just experiencing.
Yeah,
it will be totally different in the near future with the help of the new joyful and playful generation and their own creation as well.
Not only that, but I think it also might be because looking at your factor loadings, I was kind of interested to see that the construct and scope validity of the possible items in the scale that you use, because you adapted it from something else.
Sure.
That's one of the factors that will most likely affect our understanding of basically digital art in Turkey as well. We might need just something that more accurately reflects the space of digital art and consumers in Turkey as well. But I'm sorry, I'm going to have to move on because we're now moving 5 minutes behind, and I have a class in 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Next up, I'm going to give the floor to Dr. Tuna Tetik from Bahçeşehir University to rethink